Good afternoon, everyone. It's a momentous and a surreal moment for me that I stand here on TEDxIIMShillong stage. Before I start to share my journey, a very ordinary journey though, but I hope it does inspire some of you, I would like to put a statistic. Actually, they have already stolen it and put it in the introduction. So we all know that we are a strong nation of 1.4 billion people, out of which 700 million are women. And out of those 700 million women, there are only 11,000 women who joined the armed forces. When I say armed forces, it is Indian Navy, Air Force, and Army. Out of this 11,000, Navy shares comes out to be 1,800, which translates to 0.00026 percentage. I am proud to represent that 0.00026 percentage here. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Commander Preeti Yadav. I am retired from Indian Navy after serving for 14 years. And presently, I'm working with Deutsche Bank, which is a corporate investment bank. I have chosen a topic on the theme of beyond the known. I have chosen the topic of no compass, no map. Because I strongly believe that any of us, we do not have any compass or any map to live this life. And we carve out our own paths. So I'll share the journey of my choices, my challenges, and how did I navigate through it. So it's a story. I do not have a presentation. I want you to all listen to me with your heart on. I'll start with my childhood. I was born in a family with a humble background. My grandfather, he was a farmer, and my father was the first from his family to join the Air Force, but not in the officer's rank. He was from other rank. Why I'm mentioning this? Because I'll come to that later in this speech. My mother was a teacher, and I have two more siblings. I have mostly studied in Kendriya Vidyalayas and half in the Air Force School. Those days, 1985 I was born, those days, going to forces was not at all known. It was not even known to people. It was not aspired for by the girls especially. And definitely, I lacked exposure, the envision to see myself and carve out my own path in this male-dominated profession. It is still the male-dominated profession, by the way. And lack of things like coaching, YouTube, which is now available, we can just Google and see things, how SSB happens. There was nothing like that. Then what sparked me? In 1993, there was a serial called Arohan, featuring Pallavi Joshi. I am sure people of 90s must be aware of Pallavi Joshi. She was featured in that, and she depicted the life of a woman officer in Indian Navy. And maybe the serial started because in the 1991-92 first batch of women officers was inducted into the armed forces. I was inspired. This serial sparked. It was a turning point in my life. I was in class 3 that time. This was television, this was entertainment for many girls, but for me, it was a life-changing moment. It whispered a possibility which no one could dare to imagine in those times. So yes, the spark was on. But how did I break those barriers at home, at school, and from the society? My father used to say, whatever I have, I'll invest on your education. I will have no money to marry you in a good house. That's something do not expect from me. And since we were two sisters, the pressure of marriage was more than anything else. So I used to think that I will do something in life that you don't have to think about my marriage at least. And then my father said, you become a teacher, which is a very noble profession. My mother was a teacher. In fact, my family has a lot of professors as well. With due respect, but I had a different dreams altogether. I used to ask him often, you are in Air Force, why don't you want your daughter to be in forces? He used to say, life is difficult, and it's not for girls like you who are so fragile, who are shy. You have to be something different for that. I know, coming from my father, maybe because he saw the difficult life a woman officer, in fact, for that matter, any military personnel faces. Maybe this is the way he was making me tough, he was challenging me. Maybe it was a negative motivation. In school, teachers would come to the class and ask, generally it happens, what do you want to become? I would stand with pride and say, I want to become a defense officer. And only to be met with laughter from all the students. Maybe because they did not even know what is the meaning of that. Or half of them thought that how she, a shy girl, an introvert one. Then I started collecting the cuttings of the Air Force calendar last page. Why the calendar of the last page and why I'm mentioning it here in my speeches? Because that was the only resource, that was the only YouTube channel, that was the only Instagram page I could follow to understand what is the eligibility criteria. I saw that for non-science graduates, BCom is the only degree which was allowed during those times. And then, when I was taking admission in the colleges, BBA had come new in the market. It was supposed to be the most lucrative one because it was the new vocational course introduced during those times. I refused to go to BBA. All my friends told me that if you do not happen to make it to military, what about Plan Bravo? I said, let me put all my energy to Plan Alpha. We'll see about Plan Bravo later. I chose BCom. I did my BCom. I know BCom is not that big a degree that you all will be proud of, but I am very proud of my BCom degree because it has made me what I am here today. Thank you. I finished my BCom in 2005, and immediately I filled up forms for the SSB of Army, because Army letter had come first, and Indian Navy. I went for Army SSB in December 2005, I still remember. And it was like, I'm going on a picnic. My parents were like, okay, she's going, she'll come back, fine, no problem. I went alone. I saw parents coming and dropping their kids, leaving at the SSB Center, Bangalore, and telling them all the, and I had nobody. I went alone. I cleared the SSB. More than anybody else, my parents were shocked. And they were happy too. They were like, are you sure? Can you check your name in the, I said, yes, I'm recommended. There is a plus sign on my chest and I'm going for the medicals now. I was at the top of the world. Even no kind of remuneration, no kind of achievement can make me feel what I felt that day. And after that, my parents, they told everybody in our village, first girl from our village is going to become an army officer. We were on the top. We were on the cloud 9, our family. And my siblings were like, I will also do this. I was like, okay, fine. Only to be met with the disappointment when in January, the final merit list came, which we were, of course, not aware of, that something like that happens later on. I was short by 5 marks to enter into the merit list. Merit list is generally based on the vacancies. It was a shocker for the family. I was under depression for a month. But then, as you know that I am from a military, I'm a fighter, I was a born fighter. I decided I'll go on. I continued with my MBA, and then Navy SSB came. This time I was nervous because something had already happened with me. I went for Naval SSB. I got recommended again. And again the plus sign, happy, but this time I was little scared. But then I joined Indian Navy. I'm standing here as a retired officer. When I reached in 2006 to the academy, I thought it is an academy, they will make us run. This is what I was told throughout my life, that you can't run so much, although I was a very sporty person, but then I was not as good as my sister, so I was always compared. And I was always told that little less you are, you can't run. Academy is all about running and the physicals. I reached academy and I realized it was not only the training grounds. It was a temple of knowledge, ethos, and the values. A gateway to the military life, which we live and breathe till the end of our life. It taught me duty, honor, courage, not in the words itself, but in the true spirit. It taught me how to remain focused, how to have a vision to achieve any mission in your life. The discipline, the bedrock. And the most profound truth I learned in academy was the leadership. No books, no lectures, and I'm sorry to say, no IIM can teach you leadership the way Defense Forces teaches us. At least I can vouch for Indian Armed Forces. Did I say anything controversial? I don't want to hurt sentiments here. I'm proud to be here. I already said it in my first statement. We do not lead people. We read them. We stay with them. We live their life if it is required. That is the kind of leadership which was shown to us, which they made us live in the academies and thereafter. I was in the logistics branch of Indian Navy. And on my first appointment, I was at the age of 22. In my first appointment, I was given a team of 30 to 40 personnel, age ranging from 22-year-old to 50-year-old. You know what was the biggest challenge? Not the work, nothing, not the knowledge, but the mindset which I had to work on. The mindset was, ये कल की लड़की हमें क्या सिखाएगी? And उस लड़की ने सोचा कि मैं कुछ नहीं सिखाऊंगी, मैं आपसे सीखूंगी. And that was the attitude which made me not only learn, but to lead them with pride. When with professionally sound background, knowledge, and empathy towards your men, I could achieve what I wanted to within the team. In operational logistics, uncertainty and efficiency collide almost every day. To deliver under the pressure became the second nature. And this has been almost every day. And another thing which I learned in these 14 years is that life is very precious and yet unpredictable, because we see our friends and course mates, seniors, everybody making ultimate sacrifice for the country anytime. So we do value life, and that Forge has taught me a lot. This was the life in Forge in a nutshell. After that, I retired in 2021. I hung my white sparkling uniform, but not the discipline, not the values, not the ethos I learned. I wanted to prepare for UPSC after retirement. I still had age. I prepared for 1 year. My husband was posted to Brazil on deputation. I went along with him. In place like Brazil, I used to study for 8 to 10 hours. We were staying on Rio de Janeiro, one of the best places to party, and I used to study all the time. When I came back to India, I was posted in Cochin, my husband, and my center for UPSC exam was in Cochin. And due to the traffic conditions of our country, unexpected accident happened on the highway. I could not reach my examination hall on time. I knew that they will not allow me now. 2:30 was there. But then still, I went till examination hall to give it a try. They refused. I sat outside the examination hall and I cried for 1 hour. My husband was waiting outside, thinking that she has been allowed inside, that's why she has not yet come back. Because I did not have courage to come out and say that 1 year is just vanished. But then, sorry. After that, again, a month of low phase. I saw somewhere veteran internship program. I thought, I'm not going to give up on life so easily. I'll try my hand in corporate. My throat is dry. Can I get some water? Thank you. Then I thought that I'll try corporate, and I'm sure there is no age limit in corporate. Corporate accepts you with open arms, no age, no problem at all. This is the best thing I like about corporate. It's your skills which makes you do whatever you want to do. I opened a LinkedIn account. I was trying to link with people endlessly, apply hundreds of jobs, only to see no every day morning in my mailbox. We are sorry this time. I saw rejection after rejection, but only the patience and the perseverance sustained me. And after 10 months of my hard work, Deutsche Bank happened to me. I joined Deutsche Bank as project and program manager. And I strongly believed since then that there is no way that you can give up in life. You must continue to perform. You must continue to believe in yourself. This has been the journey so far. I would like to express my gratitude to TEDxIIMShillong also, because during my journey to the corporate world, the transition to the corporate, I have been alumni of TEDxIIMShillong. I did my executive MBA from here. I want to pay my sincere regards. I want to pay my sincere regards to the professors here who are not, they are so simple and yet so impactful in their knowledge and the way they deliver it to you. We used to be mesmerized in those 2 to 3 hours of lecture, and this is coming from my heart, so thank you so much for that. Thanks. Before I leave the stage, I want to say that when I look back to my journey, there are 3 lessons which stand out, which I would like to tell the youth. It is IPC. No, it is not Indian Penal Code. I stands for instinct. Please follow your instinct. That is your compass. There is no outside compass which you need. P stands for patience and perseverance. All your rejections will change into redirection if you have patience and perseverance. And C stands for comparison. Please do not compare yourself with anybody, anyone's life, and do not let anybody tell you that you are not capable of it. With this, I come to the end of my journey till now, and I hope I meet you all in future again with some more accomplishments and better story to tell. Thank you so much for your time and listening to me. Jai Hind.